today's adventure, we'll be exploring the historic center of Mexico City. This entire area is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and includes historic places such as the Templo Mayor, the National Palace, the Metropolitan Cathedral, and many more.
So today is our first full day, but second day in Mexico City. And today we're going to explore Templo Mayor as well as Palace of Fine Arts. And we're gonna go also to Madre's for breakfast.
We started our first full day in CDMX with a walk from Condesa to Roma Norte for breakfast. Fortunately for us, the large amount of green spaces helped to shelter you from the heat of the morning sun. So we are here at Madre Cafe. It's another recommended spot from Ryan and Betty. And we got a couple breakfast items. The first one we got is French toast. I also got enchiladas, and then Aggie got the avocado toast. After breakfast, we took an Uber from Roma to Centro. It was about a 20-minute ride with light traffic. Centro Histórico is the historic core of Mexico City, and the first site we would visit here is Templo Mayor. The cost is about $5 per person.
Where are we?
So we are at Templo Mayor. Templo Mayor was an Aztec temple that was started around the 1300s, destroyed by the Spanish in the 1500s, and it was covered up basically until it was rediscovered in about 1914. So now it's like an ongoing restoration project. Upon entering, you're required to check any backpacks you have, and then you'll be free to explore the temple grounds. The area by the entrance shows you one of the oldest sections of the structure. You can then head outside where there are some sections of the temple that you can explore deeper by walking on top of platforms directly over and through some of the temple sites. There's another section that's completely shaded that you can also explore. After exploring the grounds, there is a museum toward the back of the temple complex. The museum has several floors, each dedicated to a particular subject. There is a lot of artifacts on display and many different exhibits that explain many aspects of the temple, Mexica, and the restoration of the grounds. One can easily spend a couple hours here looking at all the different exhibits. After Templo Mayor, we went outside to the Zocalo. Before the colonial period, this was the ceremonial center of the Aztec city of Tenochtitlan. This area is full of vendors, and luckily for us, these vendors were much more relaxed than those in Ensenada or even Antigua, Guatemala. Our next stop was the Mexico City Metropolitan Cathedral. The exact name is the Metropolitan Cathedral of the Assumption of the Most Blessed Virgin Mary into Heaven. You heard me right, that's the full name. This cathedral was built atop the ruins of a portion of Templo Mayor. Construction began here in 1573 and was finally completed in 1813. We spent a little over 30 minutes here admiring the ornate pipe organ and altar. We then lit a candle and said a prayer for Chibi before heading out. We started heading toward the giant flag at the center of the Zocalo while the cathedral bells were going off. It seemed that there was likely to be some kind of event here because a large section was closed off. So we are at Plaza La Constitucion. Basically, it's the central point. It's also called the Zocalo. It is the central point of Mexico City. You have your usual major cathedral, the Cathedral Metropolitan, National Palace, as well as some other government buildings are in this area too. After a 10-minute Uber ride, we arrived at the Palacio de Bellas Artes, or Palace of Fine Arts. This building is also located in the Centro District and is known for its beautiful Art Deco architecture, as well as having Deigo Rivera's controversial mural that was rejected by the Rockefeller family. The Palace of Fine Arts also has several other exhibits on display from mostly Mexican artists. The cost is about $5 USD per person, and one important thing to note is that you have to check in any backpacks you have. For some odd reason, security told us not to use our small camera, so we had to use our phones. However, we did see others using DSLRs, but we're not sure if they were for video purposes. After about an hour, we headed across the street to the 9th floor of the Sears building for lunch. One important thing to know is that when you come here, you cannot just sit at the counter where you can catch the view. You'll be first seated at the regular tables and have to order something before transferring over to the counter.
Where are we?
So we are at Finca Don Porfio. It's a cafe atop the Sears building, and it overlooks the Palacio de Belles Arts, or the Palace of Fine Arts.
And we have here an iced Americano, which is pretty good. Great for this hot weather. And
I have a marzipan latte.
It's so good.
Aside from the coffee and latte, we got a chorizo sandwich to accompany our drinks. After lunch, we took a short walk from the Sears building to Mexico City's Chinatown. If our Uber didn't pass through this area, we would likely have not known about it. We strolled through the area and looked at some shops before taking an Uber back to our hotel. It was nearly 3 p.m. and we had been out since about 7 a.m. Shortly after arriving back at our hotel, we walked a couple blocks to a Walmart. We had to stock up on water because we had big plans for the next day.
What a Mexican Walmart. This is interesting. I mean, it's pretty much the same. Just slight difference. Mexican products, I guess.
We stopped at a local cafe to pick up some coffee beans to take home before heading back to the hotel. We dropped off our groceries and took an Uber to Roma Norte. We had walked over 20,000 steps already, and I refused to walk another mile to this restaurant. So we are here at Taqueria Orinoco, which is a famous taco place here in Roma Norte in Mexico City. So we got 12 tacos total, 4 of each kind. This first set of tacos we got is trompo, which is like an al pastor. It's pork with cilantro, onions, and pineapple. We also got 4 chicharron, which are fried pork skin, and 4 asada, which is beef. This restaurant and many others will be featured on our Mexico City food review, so stay tuned. We were so stuffed after dinner that it was almost necessary to walk back to the hotel just to help digest all that food. Somehow, we still had room for dessert, so we stopped by a pastry shop in the Hippodromo before finally getting back to our hotel. We arrived back at the hotel by almost 7 p.m. It was now our chance to rest before our big adventure the next day.
Souvenir haul. So today we went to Templo Mayor and I got 2 coloring books, but this one has some little information. And then we went to, what's this? Museum Fine Arts? Palace of Fine Arts, and I got myself a t-shirt. That's it. So we stopped by a Walmart just right now and picked up a bunch of water and a few Pedialytes, and these are the weird things. I wouldn't say weird, but like interesting things that I picked up. And chips. This is jicama, which I thought was pretty cool. Camote was just potato, I think. And then this one is really cool. It's a pineapple soap and it smells so good. And then we stopped by a coffee place and picked up a bean. I don't think this is their house bean, but their espresso is really good, and I think I might grab it before we leave if I don't pick up another bean. So hopefully this one will be good too.
So we are here at Tacos Orinoco. Hold on. It's so hard to pronounce. You can restart.
Here's my outfit. I made the pants and I made the top.
If you like this vlog, please consider liking and subscribing, and stay tuned for the next one.